This is when we start to realize the snow at first gorgeous, and then after a couple of days, kind of disgusting. We kind of want it gone now. All right, it's going to take some time to completely clear. Taking a live look, still see a number of snow-covered rooftops. It has just been incredible how much snow we saw and now the duration of how long it has hung around. 47 degrees, so everyone got above freezing, so that was the good news. More good news is we saw a lot of sunshine. That did help to melt a lot of it. The problem, though, is a number of roads, if there is any part of it that is in the shade, the sun was not able to beat down, and even though air temperatures are above freezing, it doesn't just melt instantly. It's like taking an ice cube out of the refrigerator or out of the freezer and putting it on a cabinet or a kitchen countertop. It's not going to just melt instantly. It'll take some time. Now in bright sunshine, that time would be shortened, but if it's in the shade, it takes a while, and that's the problem that we have had. Now we could still see some areas refreeze with the melting that we did see during the day today, especially on the North Shore and areas west. Now I do think we could see some refreezing in the metro area, but not nearly as dramatic, as we will be dropping below freezing, but not as far below freezing nor for as long of a duration. Kind of the same for Saturday morning. I do think we'll still have some patchy areas even going into Saturday morning. The big day will be Sunday. After Saturday morning temperatures get above freezing, we will not get back below freezing going forward. Sunday morning, we're starting out in the 40s, and then we don't get back below freezing through next week, and no real freezes coming in even in the extended forecast. So we're talking about the pipe weather, but this would also be the area where we could easily see more refreezing on the roadways. Not as dramatic, but still some in the areas around the metro area. Now, as we go into Saturday morning, again, kind of a similar setup. Hard freeze north and west, light freeze in the city, and then after that, we are done with the freezes. So dramatically improving conditions. I still think we'll have it on the roads going into tomorrow morning and on into Saturday morning, but through the weekend, dramatic improvements. And again, kind of Sunday will be the day we kind of forgot that we had snow, as we'll be back into the mid 60s. 40s and 50s outside at the moment, and it has been a chilly day. We'll be dropping below freezing, but as mentioned, not for nearly as long on the South Shore, and then back into the upper 40s during the day. Now we will have a more long duration and a harder freeze north of the lake, so that's where we could easily see more locations refreeze on the roadways. And again, even as the temperature drops to 32, it's not some kind of magic number that the ice immediately starts to form. It does take some time, which is why I'm not as certain about the widespread refreezing of roads on the South Shore as they will be north of the lake. But still some patchy areas, as again, not everything even cleared during the day today with our daytime heating. So through tomorrow morning, but even some isolated more spots going into Saturday morning. Again, if you absolutely need to, go slow. So a lot of folks kind of trying to go as fast as possible, not as fast as possible, but 50, 60 miles an hour, then having to swerve out of the way of patchy ice. Just use common sense. You still need to go slow. High pressure at least is keeping us under mostly sunny skies, and that will be the case for the rest of the week and going into the weekend with a gradual warming trend. We do have another reinforcing weak front that'll move through, just kind of keeping the cold air in place going through the weekend. But the good sign is that we will see kind of a pattern reversal, and what has been driving down these cold polar temperatures is finally starting to shift, and going forward through the weekend and all of next week, while that polar vortex kind of develops or sinks further south into the Hudson Bay area, the core of the cold will stay to our north. So our temperature outlook going forward is for likely to stay above average. So kind of a big thaw as we wrap up January and head into February. And after this weekend, temperatures once above freezing by midday Saturday will not be getting back below freezing, and we will stay in the 60s through next week.